Hey, it's Tyler Bardo with you here this morning, and I wanted to go over something that I saw this morning on ESPN.com from ESPN senior writer Andy Katz, who is a college basketball beat writer. Um, 2 days after Kentucky's national championship win, he released his top 25 tentatively for the next upcoming basketball season. And what you see is a familiar face from the Big East in the top five. Louisville rode Peyton Siva to the Final Four before losing to eventual national champion Kentucky. And Katz has Louisville at number 2 overall to start the season next year. Um, a lot of players could be back, including Siva, who's unlikely to declare for the NBA draft, plus a slew of guards. Um, and Pitino is always known as a big-time recruiter. Um, so this year's freshman class plus next year's freshman class will be expected to contribute um, right away. Um, Moving down the list to number 14 is Syracuse, who plays its last year in the Big East next year before moving to the Atlantic Coast Conference. Um, Head coach Jim Boeheim will lose a lot of guys from last year's team to the NBA, but then again, he returns a lot as well. And he has one of the Big East best recruiting class next year, highlighted by, as Andy Katz states, DeJuan Coleman, a kid with local ties who's 6'8" and nearly 300 pounds. So there's the next physically imposing big man for head coach Jim Boeheim and that 2-3 zone that he made ever so popular in Syracuse, New York. A couple spots down is Notre Dame, and I just love the job that head coach Mike Brey has done in South Bend, Indiana, doing more with less than any other coach in the country. This team really doesn't lose anyone, especially when Scott Martin applies for his 6th year of eligibility, which he reportedly will get. He'll join arguably the most dynamic backcourt in the Big East with Eric Atkins and Jerian Grant, both Maryland natives. And that's it for the top 25 for the Big East. Katz also has a few Big East teams um, not listed, but that could certainly receive votes in Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Marquette. But this is just a weird year for the Big East, with only 3 teams projected in the top 25. Of course, it's only one man's opinion. Um, but usually the Big East will have 5, 6, 7 teams in there, and I expect before the season's end we'll see something along those lines. Because for years people have called the Big East down and things like that, but you really can never count out the Big East and the talent it brings to the table, as evidenced 2 years ago by UConn's national championship and this year by Louisville's run to the Final Four. Thanks.